Welcome to Speaking History. In today's video, we continue our deep dive into one of the most feared conquerors in world history, Genghis Khan. If you've watched 4 brutal acts of Genghis Khan and his descendants, you should know Part 1, then you already know the sheer scale of terror and devastation he unleashed upon the world. But his story doesn't end there. In Part 2, we'll be uncovering 4 more shocking and brutal acts that cemented his legacy as a ruthless and relentless force. So buckle up, because things are about to get even darker. Let's dive right in. The Crime Against the Oirat. As we begin Part 2 of 4 brutal acts of Genghis Khan and his descendants you should know, we delve into a brutal crime that illustrates just how calculated and ruthless Genghis Khan and his successors could be when dealing with betrayal or defiance: the devastation of the Oirat people. The Oirats were a Mongolic tribe that had initially allied themselves with Genghis Khan. They were instrumental in his rise to power, providing essential military and strategic support during the early conquests. However, as the Mongol Empire expanded, so too did Genghis Khan's intolerance for any sign of opposition or perceived weakness in his allies. His hunger for absolute loyalty knew no bounds. In 1237, the Oirat people, according to Persian chroniclers, faced a dire situation. They failed to contribute the expected cohort of young women to Ogedei Khan's harem, a severe transgression in the eyes of the Mongol leadership. Ogedei Khan, Genghis Khan's son and the Khagan emperor of the Mongol Empire from 1229 to 1241, shared his father's proclivity for violence and brutality. Infuriated by the Oirat's perceived betrayal, Ogedei decided to unleash a horrifying punishment upon them. In a swift and merciless campaign, Ogedei ordered his soldiers to enact revenge on the Oirat tribe. Instead of opting for traditional warfare, he sought complete annihilation. The Mongol forces descended upon the Oirats with terrifying speed, eliminating anyone who stood in their path. Men, women, children, and the elderly faced the same grim fate. No one was spared in this violent onslaught. But what made this massacre particularly chilling was the psychological warfare that Ogedei employed. He didn't just aim to physically destroy the Oirat tribe, he sought to obliterate their very existence from history. Families were torn apart, entire villages were eradicated, and the Mongols left no survivors to recount the horrors they had witnessed. The Oirat people were effectively erased from history, their lands absorbed into the vast and ever-expanding Mongol Empire. However, the brutality did not end with the massacre. Ogedei's actions extended into even more grotesque territory. He ordered that 4,000 Oirat girls, taken as captives, be subjected to repeated sexual assaults by his soldiers. Families were forced to watch this horrific spectacle unfold. The psychological torment of witnessing such atrocities compounded the physical violence inflicted upon the tribe. 2 of the girls tragically lost their lives during these assaults, while the survivors were relegated to a life of enslavement, distributed as sex slaves among the harem, merchant caravans, and the Mongol army. This act has been labeled by historians as one of the worst Mongol atrocities recorded, highlighting Ogedei Khan's complete disregard for human life and dignity. By systematically targeting the Oirat tribe, he sent a chilling message to anyone within his empire who dared to contemplate rebellion. Betray me, and your people will face utter annihilation. His reign of terror permeated every corner of the Mongol Empire, instilling fear and ensuring submission among all who lived under his rule. The Destruction of Baghdad. As we continue our exploration of the brutal acts committed by Genghis Khan and his descendants, we arrive at a dark chapter in history: the destruction of Baghdad. This episode is not only a tale of military conquest, but also one of profound cultural loss, as the once thriving capital of the Abbasid Empire faced unimaginable devastation. In 1258, Hulagu Khan, a grandson of Genghis Khan, led an immense army, estimated to be around 150,000 strong, to the gates of Baghdad, located in modern-day Iraq. The Abbasid Caliphate, which had flourished for centuries as a center of knowledge, culture, and commerce, found itself unprepared for the wrath of the Mongol war machine. The Mongol forces, equipped with advanced siege technologies and expert Chinese engineers, were poised to unleash a campaign of terror upon the city. On February 10, 1258, the Mongols breached Baghdad's defenses, and what followed was a week of relentless carnage. The city, once a beacon of civilization and learning, descended into chaos. The victors poured into the streets, igniting a brutal spree of pillaging, raping, torture, and murder. Every corner of Baghdad was a scene of horror as the Mongols sought to instill fear and establish dominance over the region. Contemporary accounts describe the massacre with chilling precision. One source reported that as many as 800,000 people were killed during the siege and its aftermath. This staggering figure, however, does not account for the countless others who perished in the chaos. Children thrown into the mud, innocent lives swept away by the tides of violence, and those who succumbed to disease, hunger, or sheer terror in the wake of the invasion. Some historians even suggest that the total death toll could be as high as 2 million, though the true number remains shrouded in uncertainty. The destruction of Baghdad was not just a military victory. It was a cultural obliteration. The Mongols systematically targeted libraries, schools, and houses of worship, erasing centuries of knowledge and history. The famed House of Wisdom, a major intellectual center, was not spared. Thousands of priceless manuscripts were tossed into the Tigris River, turning the waters black with ink as the essence of a civilization drowned in the aftermath of conquest. The loss of this intellectual heritage had lasting repercussions, marking the end of an era for the Islamic Golden Age. Hulagu Khan's assault on Baghdad was driven by a desire to demonstrate Mongol superiority and to quell any potential resistance. By annihilating the city and its people, he sent a powerful message throughout the region. The wrath of the Mongols was swift and merciless, and any opposition would be met with utter destruction. This campaign of terror was not merely a pursuit of power, but also a calculated strategy to instill fear in other cities and kingdoms, ensuring compliance and submission. As we reflect on the destruction of Baghdad, it becomes clear that this brutal act serves as a testament to the devastating impact of war on civilization. The fall of Baghdad was not just the demise of a city, it represented the obliteration of an entire cultural and intellectual legacy. The reverberations of this tragedy can still be felt today, reminding us of the fragile nature of civilization and the horrors that can arise when power is wielded without restraint. The terrible treasure hunt at Termez now. We uncover a harrowing tale known as the terrible treasure hunt at Termez. This dark chapter reveals the lengths to which Mongol forces would go in their relentless pursuit of wealth and treasure, illustrating the savagery that accompanied their conquests. In 1220, the Mongol Empire, under the command of Genghis Khan, set its sights on the ancient city of Termez, located in present-day Uzbekistan. Termez, known for its strategic importance and rich cultural heritage, found itself at the mercy of the Mongol war machine. The city was sacked, its inhabitants subjected to unimaginable horrors as the invaders sought not only to conquer, but to plunder. The events that unfolded in Termez are as grotesque as they are chilling. According to legend, amidst the chaos of the invasion, a local woman, fearing for her life, made a desperate plea to the Mongol soldiers. She claimed to have swallowed pearls and offered to reveal their location if she were spared. The greedy Mongol captors, intrigued by the promise of treasure, responded with a horrific act. They sliced her open, retrieving the precious gemstones that she had claimed to have ingested. This gruesome discovery ignited a horrifying order from the Mongol commander. Believing that every citizen of Termez might be hiding similar riches within their bodies, the commander issued a chilling decree. The corpse of every citizen was to be disemboweled in search of treasures. This brutal and inhumane directive turned the once thriving city into a macabre scene of carnage. Bodies littered the streets as the Mongol forces systematically searched for any hidden wealth, driven by insatiable greed and a brutal desire for revenge against the populace. This atrocity at Termez serves as a grim reminder of the psychological warfare employed by Genghis Khan and his successors. The Mongols not only sought material wealth but also used fear as a weapon to subdue any potential resistance. The image of disemboweled bodies became a symbol of terror, instilling dread in other cities that might consider opposing the Mongol onslaught. The tale of Termez is not just about the grotesque search for treasure, it also highlights the moral degradation that often accompanies unchecked power. As the Mongols carved their empire across vast territories, the legacy of their conquests was often written in blood and despair, with tales of horror echoing through history. The brutal funeral procession of Genghis Khan. As we delve into another brutal act of our exploration of Genghis Khan's dark legacy, we encounter a chilling narrative surrounding the brutal funeral procession of Genghis Khan. This story not only reflects the ruthless nature of the Mongol Empire, but also sheds light on the extraordinary lengths to which the Mongols went to honor their leader, even in death. In August 1227, the world lost one of its most formidable conquerors. Genghis Khan, the man who had unified the Mongol tribes and forged an empire that spanned vast territories, died under circumstances that remain somewhat mysterious. According to legend, he stipulated that his burial place be kept a closely guarded secret, a request that spoke to his desire for immortality and the mystique surrounding his persona. The tales of Genghis Khan's funeral procession, as recounted by Marco Polo, the renowned Venetian explorer who served as an envoy for Kublai Khan in the 1370s and 2080s, are steeped in dark intrigue. According to Marco Polo, a sinister chain of events unfolded during the burial rites that underscored the brutality of Mongol culture. 2,000 slaves, who were tasked with preparing the grave for their fallen leader, were brutally executed by their guards to ensure that the location of Genghis Khan's resting place would remain undisclosed. The soldiers responsible for this atrocity did not stop there. They executed their orders with chilling efficiency, moving through the countryside and killing anyone who might have witnessed their actions. This horrifying purge was meant to eliminate any potential informants who could reveal the burial site. But the cruelty did not end with the execution of the slaves. After ensuring that their dark secret was safe, the soldiers, in a twisted sense of loyalty, took their own lives upon returning to their base. This final act of suicide was seen as a way to prevent any chance of their involvement becoming known to others, ensuring that Genghis Khan's burial place would remain shrouded in mystery for centuries to come. Modern historians and archaeologists have speculated about the location of Genghis Khan's grave, with many suggesting that it lies hidden in the region of Burkhan Khaldun, a sacred mountain in northern Mongolia. This area, revered by the Mongols for its spiritual significance, is thought to be the resting place of the great leader, where he may lie undisturbed, fulfilling his wish for secrecy even in death. As we conclude this chilling exploration of 4 brutal acts of Genghis Khan and his descendants, you should know, we are left with haunting reminders of the darkness that often accompanies the thirst for power. From the brutal crime against the Oirat, where trust was met with merciless retaliation, to the catastrophic destruction of Baghdad, where an entire civilization was brought to its knees. From the terrifying treasure hunt at Termez, where greed led to unimaginable horrors, to the sinister funeral procession of Genghis Khan himself, where lives were sacrificed to ensure secrecy. These acts paint a grim picture of an era defined by violence and conquest. These stories serve as cautionary tales about the human capacity for brutality in the pursuit of dominance and wealth. If you found this exploration insightful and thought-provoking, don't forget to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating insights into history.